If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Let us sing joyfully to the Lord, the rock of our salvation. Good morning, sisters and brothers. God has granted us more time on earth, in this world. May we do his work this day and our example to others. I'm going to begin with a reading from John chapter 18, verse 37, because there is a reference to this in the email for today. Pilate then said to him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "It is you who say that I am a king. For this was I born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." And this is from Wednesday, September 18th, 2002, at 8:11 p.m. The title is Ministry, Your Cause for Living. For this cause came I into the world. The words of the Master rang in the ears and through the soul of a minister as he prepared his sermon for the coming day. "What is your subject for tomorrow?" questioned John, his nephew, who had stepped into the pastor's study for a chat. "I don't know," replied the minister, "but I have the text." And he repeated the words, "For this cause came I into the world." The young man turned and went out, deeply touched by his uncle's fervor. An hour later, the telephone rang. The call came from the city hospital. "Your nephew has been seriously injured," a voice informed the pastor. "You had better come at once." Hastening to the hospital, the pastor was met by a doctor who told him the circumstances that had occasioned the accident. "When John left you this morning," said the physician, "he heard a fire siren. Following the engine, he came to the scene of the fire and stood watching with others as the flames devoured the flimsy walls of an apartment house. Suddenly, in a window in the third story, he saw a group of children cut off from escape and crying in terror. Across an alley, nearly 5 feet away, stood another building, the rows of windows adjacent to the apartment house. Accompanied by a friend, John bounded up the stairs, found another window into the apartment in which the children stood, and called out to them. Assisted by his friend, he managed to stretch himself across the space between the two windows. One by one, the children crept across their human bridge. There were 8 of them. The flames licked John's clothes and seared his flesh. Exhausted by the ordeal, he lost his grip and fell to the brick pavement 3 stories below. No, there isn't much chance for his recovery, but well, come in and see him. As the minister entered the room, his nephew looked up, smiled, and murmured, "For this cause came I into the world." That was all. Every person born into the world has a cause, a reason for existence. Who knows but that you were brought into the world for such a time as this? You may be a bridge between despair and hope for some soul who is waiting for Jesus. Adversity, grief, trouble, unhappiness crowd about every human life. There is no heart but has its sorrow, no soul but has its problems. There may be someone today that needs your intercession and prayer. There may be someone in your path who needs to see Jesus, or who needs a word of encouragement. Everyone needs to know that someone cares. There is someone who needs your touch today. If Jesus abides within you, then when you touch someone, he touches them. We need to be His hands extended to all. It may be that this is your hour, your cause. This perhaps is the reason for your being. God has a plan for each of us to fulfill. John saved 8 lives. If one soul can be saved from despair through your ministry or mine, life will be worthwhile. If you or I were the only ones on this planet in need of saving, God would have sent His Son just for us. A reading from Psalm 73, verse 26. Even should my heart and my flesh fail, God is the rock of my heart and my portion forever. Thank you, my dear friends, for your time. It is such a precious commodity we only have so much of. Let's give some of our time today to others who may be placed in our path just for us. God bless you. May He bring peace to you and your families. May there be peace on earth. With God's help, may we see each other again tomorrow.